Welcome to this last segment of the news review. We are looking at issues making headlines, and after looking at pertinent issues affecting the common mwananchi, we now look at page 6 of the Daily Nation. President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto taking their campaign tour to Uasin Gishu in what may turn out to be a firefighting exercise in the wake of toxic utterances by some of Jubilee Party candidates who have raised the spectre of ethnic tension. I will start with you, Mheshimiwa Irungu Kang'ata, because this is about your political party. This foray into Uasin Gishu, is it a firefighting exercise?
Well, it appears there is a major contest in that county between the sitting governor, that is
Jackson Mandago.
Yes, Mr. Mandago against Mr. Bezeki. It appears Mandago feels the Kikuyu community in that region is supporting his rival, and it appears, according to press reports, some of the supporters of the governor are stoking ethnic animosity. If at all that is correct information, that is very unfortunate. We must start appreciating the fact that every individual has the right to vote for whichever candidate he or she wishes to vote for, and therefore one should not be compelled or threatened to vote in a certain manner. And therefore I think from where I sit, it is good that the president is going there together with his deputy to try and allay those tensions. However, I also somehow support Mandago that the government should be very clear, particularly the Jubilee government, that we support Jubilee candidates. However,
the party here, not the government party.
Sorry, yes, indeed, the party. Or the party should be supported, all candidates of that party. I'm happy to report that when the president went to Nakuru, when the president was in the Nyandarua region, he was very categorical that they are supporting Jubilee candidates. And therefore, when he goes to that county, I should foresee Mandago receiving the same treatment which the president has done in Nakuru and also in Nyandarua and Laikipia. Also, yesterday we had a huge train, political train, traversing various parts of Murang'a County, and the message that was being delivered by that political caravan, where we had several members of parliament, including people like Ababu Namwamba, people like Moses Kuria, was that the people of Murang'a should support Jubilee candidates alone, from the MCA to the president, in the Senate, the governor, the women rep, the member of parliament should be Jubilee. So if and you can tell they are talking on behalf of the two principals, that is the deputy president and the president. So if at all what is yesterday I saw happening in Murang'a County, I was there, I was part of that caravan where people are being told to vote Jubilee candidates only. I think also it is fair also Mandago, notwithstanding some people saying there is a forced relationship between him and the DP. I think he needs to be supported. That Bezeki should be told, fine, maybe you are close to some certain people in government, sorry, in the Jubilee party, but for now it's purely an issue of the party. From bottom to up, it should be party. And for a good reason, by the way. Let me support Mandago. When you have people in power who are not people belonging to your political party, you may suffer some consequences. One, you don't have the power to whip them to a certain direction. Your chief whip can only whip members of his political party. Number two, for independence, by the way, in Senate and National Assembly, it's even worse. Why? Because a motion of impeachment can be brought.
On the presidency?
Yes, on the presidency. It can either originate from the Senate, and Senate plays a major role in impeachment of a president. And where you don't have numbers, you can be impeached. Again also, look at the motions, look at the bills. You will see that in the National Assembly, because we have what we call tyranny of numbers in favor of the party, Jubilee has been able to push through legislation because of that. In the Senate, by the way,
so are you taking blame for any failure in implementation or pushing through a legislation because you had the tyranny of numbers?
No. Yes, the point is
like the gender rule. Jubilee is taking responsibility?
No, for gender role, by the way. No, for obvious reason. The threshold is just too high. It's talk of too bad. So meaning you must also have what you call a bipartisan approach to that matter. But the point is, in Senate, you can see the numbers are very thin. I think we are past them, the NASA people, by about 1 or 2 senators. You will see rarely does the president get good or sufficient support in Senate. So the more reason why we should have as many as possible.
I would love to hear what you say about independent governors, because I have one here, but we'll get to that.
No. For him, by the way, let me tell you,
they have nothing to do with him.
No. For him, at a personal level, my sympathies lie on him.
You had said it at the beginning of the show.
And let me say why. Because number one, I strongly believe Anyang' Nyong'o does not have a good developmental record at all.
Now that he's not
he
here,
has been able to maneuver his political life by being...
Now that he's not here, we are not going to make it a subject of discussion.
Vote for him. I want to vote for him, although maybe by doing so, I may be finishing him, because maybe Anyang' Nyong'o will say, see, you're being voted by...
Charles, I'm actually shocked that Governor Anguma is nodding at praises from... Yes, it is true. Because, you know, by that, Kangata has just done what he intended to do. Destroyed.
He has a chance to make himself again.
You have to make yourself very quickly.
Start with the issue of
I know,
Uasin Gishu.
I'm happy, Charles, that the issue of Uasin Gishu is coming up the way it is. Remember, Kangata started by saying Kenya is a very ethnic community. I mean, ethnic society. We don't even need to have issues as we campaign, so it will be ethnicity. Where Jubilee finds itself is where any political party whose focus is merely 2 ethnic communities will find itself. The whole nation is gone. They now have these 2 ethnic communities which have had everything under Jubilee, also fighting within themselves. And so there is a cause for alarm. What we have in Nandi, the major plank of Rift Valley, by the way, Kangata is gone. So Jubilee, and more so led by the president, has to be in Nandi today. And they're not just going to go today. They'll have to keep going there, because Nandi is also tilting. I was at the rally in Kapsabet, and I can tell you, across Uasin Gishu and Nandi, there is a problem. The choice Jubilee has to make is very simple. Are you for Mandago, or are you for Kiprop, Bundotech? And then we will play ball depending on what choice they make. And they have to make it cannot be both. It cannot be both. And I hear them to be saying,
we here is NASA.
Certainly. And then
so you're waiting to reap?
No, we are not waiting. They're already reaping. They can only seek to choose what to pick from what remains by choosing either of the gentlemen. And we are saying, you cannot pretend that you are for both when you are in a political party. And Charles, I blame the media. The media has been hyping this thing that it is Raila Odinga, the NASA flag bearer, who is against independence. Now Kangata is here telling you that as a political party they have no business in independence. And essentially the message being sent to Kiprop Bundotich, my good friend in Uasin Gishu and Nandi, is that as the president and the deputy come, they have no business with you. Good for us. Let us see how they pick it.
Why are you blaming the media for your fault?
No,
it's not the media that said you are either with us in ODM or you are against us. Was it the media?
But you remember, Charles, the tone of the media was Raila is against independence. What you are not being told is what he's telling you today.
If you are not for me, you are against me.
Yes, that even Jubilee has the position that they are only supporting their political party candidates. The media took
No, it was reported very clearly that when Jubilee leadership went to Nyandaro and Nakuru, they say they have no time for independence, including, by the way, they even compelled Governor Kinozia to step down for the Jubilee candidate.
I'm happy. Now you hear, this is the
and by the way, when you look at the scenarios in Nakuru, they seems to be obtaining in Eldoret. Why? This guy called Kinozia was also playing an ethnic card. There are rumors. I don't know that the ethnicity of Mr. Kenyanjui is questionable.
But thank God we are not dwelling on rumors here.
Jubilee is saying that we want Jubilee candidates for governors, everybody, and I hope the nation is watching. And they are saying any independent in their regions has to be compelled to either withdraw their candidature and support the governor, or they have no business with them. I'm happy with that situation.
Is that the same case with ODM?
We want the president, of course, to now go to Uasin Gishu. Okay? And as he goes to Uasin Gishu, let him know there is a good reason as to why Kaluma will not be going to Mombasa. I want to watch what is happening. They are moving in that direction. I want to see what is there for us, to pick and move forward. But we have to take Uasin Gishu. We have to take Nandi. West Pokot is gone. Samburu is gone. We are taking Elgeyo Marakwet, they like it or not.
Where is the
going
position
forward? Let us avoid this situation where you look at the people of Kenya just in terms of tribes and what you can do with them in terms of their votes. Look at it, Charles. The president was in Kisii the other day. A very annoying thing happened during campaign time. You have a candidate, because President Uhuru is now a candidate, moving around with checks against the election laws, and the IEBC is doing nothing. You know how we have been compensating IDPs, and we have the details of IDPs. You remember when this thing happened, Charles, IDPs were being bought for land, and we spent over 10 billion in that land purchase project, some phony. IDPs were being built for houses. IDPs were being given startup capital for businesses, 400,000. When you go to Kisii and you tell them that after 10 years of IDP compensation, now we have come with 50,000 for each of you, which we now know when shared goes to 23,000 for everybody. You are looking at people.
No, it's an average of 50,000.
I'm telling you, the numbers have blossomed. It is now 23. That's why I'm talking of information I have. But even if you said it is 50,000, why 50? You've not given them land, you've not bought for them houses, you've not told them when the 350 balance is coming.
You've run away from Uasin Gishu.
So what I'm saying is that when you have the politics of tribe, then you have to be so worried about the tribe you believe should be the only one supporting you. And unfortunately for Jubilee, that tribe is also gone.
Governor, yours is a cosmopolitan county. This issue of ethnicity and negative ethnicity, I should be precise, is beginning to rear its head again. What's your take?
Not quite. Kisumu, I think, is quite stable. Under my leadership for the 4 years, I have preached peace to everyone, and in fact the reason why I wanted to preach peace in Kisumu is I want to attract investment to Kisumu. As a third large city in Kenya, it is important that we preach peace, it is important that we tolerate one another, it is important that we stop throwing stones, and it is important that we create a secure environment for those who want to invest to come. Because at the end of the day, it is employment. It is employment that we want for our people, and I can't employ everybody. My staff strength is 4,800, but we are more than 1 million people. They all need to be there. I have Kisis, I have no problem with them. We have Asians, we have lawyers, we have Kikuyus, we have people from Busia. So Kisumu is truly a cosmopolitan place, and we allow them to flourish with whatever they are doing. What we don't want is that, yes, do your business, do your work, let's not fight each other. Let's work together to build Kisumu as one county.
Your take on this issue of independence. You are an independent candidate.
Yes, I'm an independent candidate, but I'm not an independent. I'm not an independent candidate because I wanted to be there. I have been ODM from, I don't know from which I joined when it was for Kenya, but because of botched electoral process, that nomination process, that's why I find myself there. If elections were done fairly, I would have greeted my brother Professor Ajanyong and say, you have won, but he didn't win. So because he didn't win, I have a reason to say no. The people of Kisumu have a right to elect the person they want to be there. Let me offer myself again, because they were denied that opportunity. That opportunity is now available for them in the
I'm afraid we can't take this anymore. My director tells me I have precisely 1 minute 30 seconds, and so I'm going to give each of you 30 seconds as you wrap up with the issue of Ovinya and Ndeti also. Mheshimiwa, I start with you.
Yes, Charles, I want us to have a situation where people are allowed to decide on their leaders, not a situation where a judicial forum, like what we see is happening in Machakos, is happening. Ovinya and Ndeti, you know, has been moving as a wiper candidate. We need to look at, you know, section 14 of the Political Parties Act, you know, much more keenly. And what it says is that you shall deliver your resignation to the party and the registrar. But your resignation takes effect upon delivering to either the party or the registrar. So where we have a situation where a person by conduct and by action can tell you, I communicated to our party, it is foolhardy when people have conducted, you know, nominations, to say that person is now not moving. But let me say, going across, Brother Anguma,
your 30 seconds is over.
Watch what Kangata was saying here. We must be asking whether we are working for the good of NASA in our regions when we are not doing what Jubilee is doing. Jubilee is telling you that their independent governors are dropping. It is time for you to begin thinking whether it could be a sacrifice you make in terms of letting Nyong'o go, you have another bid, and how it would impact on our politics to win the presidency than leaving it that way. Yes, sir.
One main problem I have with NASA, and particularly NASA constituent parties, is the lack of internal democracy. NASA, in particular ODM and WIPA, it appears is a party for the big men, for the people with big titles. That's very unfair, because it means that party cannot be able to tap into political talent of women, people, disabled people, or I'm going to give you an example of Jubilee. It is only in Jubilee we have a 32-year-old governor nominee who most likely is going to clinch that seat in Nandi. That is Senator Sang. At 32 years. It's only in Jubilee that we have a person with disability won in a nomination in Kajiado for the senatorial position. It's only in Jubilee that you find there is no discrimination. There is no discrimination on account of big titles. And therefore, I feel so bad when I see a big person holding a big title like Professor somehow not giving my friend here, Raguma, a fair chance in nominations. And this person here appearing to support such kind of a facade of a nomination.
Thank you. Your time is up. Governor, last one.
Mine is to appeal to nurses to please go back to work. Yes, we may have our individual preferences. Yes, we want to be paid well, but we have a much bigger picture. When people die in hospitals, and we have sworn to protect the lives of our people, I think it is important. We are in the middle of negotiations. We can still continue, conclude, negotiate, and then we'll be able to pay you according to what we will have agreed, depending on what SRC also advises. So my appeal, let's negotiate while you are at work, because it is important. Our people are more important than us all.
There was no better way to finish this show than that appeal to the nurses who are on strike for understandably very good reasons, because your families need to be comfortable even as you dispense your services to the general public. We hope that there will be an expedient solution to this stalemate, so that Wananchi can get value for their right as citizens by getting good treatment in our hospitals. We can't go on any further. Mheshimiwa Peter Opondo Kaluma, thank you very much. Mheshimiwa Irungu Kangata, thank you very much. And Mheshimiwa Jack Ranguma, Governor Kisumu, thank you very much. As you go out there, I am tempted, because Willis Raburu comes from Kisumu County, to ask him, are you a voter in Kisumu?
Yes.